it's Rosie here, and a couple of days ago I did a react to someone that I know nothing about, which is Alexandra Rodriguez, who used to be Learning to Be Fearless, and I reacted to her video, My Failed Weight Loss Surgery, which for the most part was just like a normal daily vlog, which neither here nor there. I don't personally find it super relatable because I have a job. That's not YouTube. I'm not getting paid to be here. I'm being here because I like you guys. So, yeah. So I thought, why not take it back and let's react to her 1 year after gastric bypass update. Now, as many of you know who already have seen me before or follow my channel, I started this channel a couple of months ago to talk just about weight loss surgery. And then last month in February, I had gastric bypass surgery. So I'm a little over a month out right now. And post-surgery, I've already lost 20 pounds. Pre-surgery, in 47 days, I lost 30 pounds. So I am 50 pounds down. I think in my last video, I said that in a bit of a confusing manner, so I will correct it in this one. Anyway, this is her 1 year after gastric bypass update. I saw a couple of red flags in her My Failed Weight Loss, so I'm definitely interested to watch it. And if you guys like it, I'd love to maybe watch some other videos that she's put out, maybe some of her vlogs. Mostly my interest is going to be in weight loss related content because that's really what I'm here for. The reactions are just kind of a fun bonus, and I love seeing what gets put in the comment section because sometimes it's stuff I know nothing about. Sometimes it's really funny stuff. So anyway, I guess let's get into it. 1 year after gastric bypass update. Oh, before I click play, I just want to say that I'm kind of here for her makeup, right? I look terrible. Maybe I should start wearing some makeup. Or maybe I'll just do an Amberlynn every single time. Be like, I'm sorry that I look so bad without my makeup. Okay.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. You may have clicked on this video because
her back wall's very aesthetic.
Bypass, or you've been thinking about it. And I know a lot of you guys have been here on this journey with me over the last year.
Nope, I didn't know who you were.
Honestly, sitting down to film this right now is just a huge reality check of how quickly time goes by. I've sat down to film this now 4 times, and I am
nervous. Sure, was way different.
As you can tell by the title of this, I am having gastric bypass surgery. It truly feels like just yesterday that I had the surgery, but it also feels maybe longer. It's a lot of mixed emotions.
How much weight did she lose? Anyone know?
I asked you guys
I think 100 pounds,
on
right?
Instagram to send me in specific questions that you wanted me to talk about, but overall, I thought I would just do a 1 year update. When I'm posting this, my surgiversary is yesterday. So November 16th, 2021, my dog is here with me. So if you hear random breathing or noise, it's my dog. You want to say hi? You look so big.
I love a puppy moment.
But you're very small. So I'm just going to dive into the questions because honestly, I feel like it's just going to touch on everything that I would want to say and answer. And I took the most popular questions. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, follow me there because I ask you guys to ask me questions. Okay, from your gastric bypass journey, do you feel confident to pass on healthy eating habits to future kids? Absolutely. No. I'm definitely not perfect by any means, but through my program and through intuitive eating, I read that book before my surgery actually, or I listened to it on audiobook. That was amazing.
Red flag. Red flag.
Intuitive eating. It's really cool, surgery or not. I feel like it's just totally how our bodies were made, and society has
This must be where Amberlynn Reid got this information.
If you've had a rough relationship with food, it's really helpful. In no way, shape, or form am I
It's not a good idea.
Food. I still have my struggles here and
I'm
there.
already pausing it. We're only 2 minutes in. I just want to say, obviously, not everyone who is obese is a compulsive overeater, but I myself am a compulsive overeater, compulsive eater, whatever you want to call us, and I'm in OA. And one of the first things is if you are a compulsive eater, or you're someone who has a strong desire to control your food intakes and things to an obsessive amount, right? At a level that the rest of us are who are compulsive eaters. Intuitive eating is not your friend. Food does you wrong, okay? It sends you the wrong signals. It doesn't tell you when you're full. I just had my opinion, and it might not count for a damn thing, where whoever you are, but I'm gonna go with no on intuitive eating. If you're someone who's a normal eater, it's probably already working for you. But if you have any food addiction, any compulsions towards food, bulimia, anything, whether you're skinny or fat, but if you've got that, if you have that compulsion and you know what I'm talking about, now that I'm saying it, only people who know they have a problem know what I'm talking about. But yeah, intuitive eating, not a good move. Do not get into it. Not a good idea. And I don't know her, I don't know enough about her to know. I just know that, like, for someone like Amberlynn Reid, was not a good idea and is not a good idea and will never be a good idea.
But I took a big chapter of that book. They have a chapter about raising intuitive eaters, and my husband's really on board with it too. So that's my plan. Just I want a lot of balance and talk more about feelings, and I don't want them to ever feel restricted. And I don't know. I definitely have a different viewpoint on food.
My husband's a normal eater, so I think I'm gonna just leave our kids to him if we ever have any.
For a baby. That was one of the biggest reasons I got my surgery. I'll link below. How will weight loss look while and after being pregnant? I don't know. I wish I had a crystal ball. Actually, I don't.
In theory, you keep losing weight.
No, thank you.
That's what they told me.
I am just going to,
because you're sticking to your diet. You're not going to change your diet just because you're pregnant.
In all aspects while we become pregnant, God willing. My surgeon said we could start trying 1 year after my surgery, and we were cleared to do so. So I am super excited that we just started trying, and I'll keep you guys posted on that when I have updates. What's the best way to pay for this, and how much did it actually cost? I'm considering it. My insurance covered it in full. Every insurance is different. I've seen some people write in and say that their insurance did not offer to cover it, and they would need to pay out of pocket. So I don't know. It's a really personal preference.
My insurance didn't pay for mine, and it was going to be about $30,000. That's what I was quoted for the gastric bypass, not the sleeve. It's obviously a bit cheaper. I went to Tijuana, had mine done, $6,700, and that included having my gallbladder removed, 3 days in the hospital, transport to and from, all the food, etc., care, medicine. So if your insurance doesn't cover it, reach out to me, DM me on my Instagram. I will give you the information for the surgeon that I went to, if that's something you're interested in, because I'm all about being safe, especially if you're going to go to Mexico with everything that's happened recently.
I don't know, like, if you can switch insurance easily. I know that's not simple. I don't know, but my insurance personally covered the whole thing. So if you have to pay out of pocket, I don't know if they have payment plans or things like that. I know that's difficult, and I was very, very thankful that our insurance covered the entire thing. I had like a small copay here and there when I'd have to get my blood drawn, which was very frequent. But yeah, that was my experience. How much have you lost? What does eating look like? I am 8 months post-op, so I am down 110 pounds to the T. What does eating look like? So overall, if you watch my journey in that playlist, it's like when I first was starting to eat again, I kind of said that it was about 25% of what I used to be able to eat, and then get full. And honestly, now I would say it hasn't really gone up that much. Obviously, I can eat more than what I could, 9 months ago, shortly after surgery, etc. But I would say, like, I get full at about 40 to 50% of what I used to be able to eat. But I don't feel like that's changed in months. Like, it's been like that probably since about the 6-7 month mark. I don't feel like I'm really able to eat that much more as time progresses, just because I eat the same thing so regularly.
That's
so I'm very aware of what I eat and how much of it I eat. So that's been my personal experience with food and how much I can eat. I know that
sounds pretty right on, honestly,
for everyone, but I got a lot of questions too, like, will you ever be able to eat normal again, right? And normal, I guess, is different for everyone, but for me, I'm
Well,
able to eat
normal
about
for
40 to
us
50%
overeaters and
of what I
obese
could eat
people is
pre-surgery.
not a good
Probably
amount to
closer to
eat.
40.
So
I guess it depends what it is too.
she shouldn't
But
want to get to
I
100%.
always try to focus on protein first, and that fills you up more.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of foods.
Protein's going to fill you up, and you're going to
foods
eat less.
that like you can definitely eat more of, and it can be dangerous. Like popcorn. Popcorn, I find I can eat so much popcorn, like, and not get full. So
She's
it's something,
spitting
if I'm gonna
facts,
eat
though.
popcorn, I pair it with protein, so that way I'm not just like, because I also don't feel good. That's the whole thing too. If I eat a bunch of popcorn, I feel sick. So I pair it with like a cheese stick or some almonds.
Where's the lie?
And then
like,
my
I don't
stomach
see
just
it.
feels better, and I don't eat a ton of popcorn where I end up feeling sick. So there's things like slider foods, like popcorn, like kind of empty like carbs or chips, but like those things,
Your
make
empty
me personally
carb,
feel
empty
really sick if I
calories.
eat too much and don't pair it
That's
with
going to be a
protein.
problem.
Sorry, that was very long-winded.
Because you'll be able to eat high quantities
share
of
your
it.
starting
That's
weight,
really
I think
bad
it would be
for you.
inspirational and courageous. I've thought about this so many times, especially because I feel like now I actually see a lot of women of all shapes and sizes being more open about their weight because it's a number, and I just feel like we need to take the power away from the number. And like,
I'm
I already
227.
get scrutinized enough
226,
on the internet, and I'm
227,
like,
somewhere
what's
right
a
there.
number really gonna like
And it started at
do?
277.
So I'm like, whatever. I have
care.
shared so much online. Like at this point, what does it matter if I share
Then
my
just
starting
tell
weight?
us.
So
Just
my
tell us.
starting weight was
She's being weirdly
389,
evasive.
and my weight today is 279.
Wow.
And I know people ask, I'm 5'7.5" for reference, but yeah. That's
Oh,
my,
she's taller than me. Okay.
weight. How are you doing with all the emotions that come with a big change? Much love. So much emotion. So I had a vlog back, again, on that playlist, sorry, where I talked about how emotions are handled so differently now. My dog is attacking a bone. I really hope the mic isn't picking that up. But yeah, emotions are different. I remember there's a vlog of it where I was talking to Yar, my husband, and I was just like, all of a sudden just feeling very overwhelmed, and I just started crying. And that's happened to me a lot throughout this process. Not so much now, but like I used to use food to cope with emotions so much. So freaking much. And it has been a huge adjustment not being able to do that anymore. And it feels a little bit scary because like when you've used something as a coping mechanism for so long, to not be able to do that anymore can be absolutely terrifying.
I understand you,
and that
for sure.
is why you go through therapy and counseling, and I highly recommend you continue that throughout, and you can do that with your program. Most of them should include that. But yeah, I talked a lot about that, and I learned more that I was more of an emotional eater than a binge eater. I've always used food to cope with emotions, right? So I had to find different tools to cope with, negative emotions, sadness, loneliness, anxiety, etc. The good thing is, I don't know if this is a good thing per se, but this is just me being totally transparent. A lot of the foods I used to be able to emotionally eat with, particularly unhealthy foods, would now make me sick. They make me sick now. It's not even a pleasant thing for me anymore. I'm not someone who
having
can just
this surgery
eat
doesn't
through
change the
pain and
compulsion
discomfort.
though.
If I feel sick, I'm not gonna want to keep eating. So
I was talking to someone yesterday after my meeting, and they were telling me like kind of their specific story, right, with compulsive eating and having the gastric sleeve surgery. And they told me something so terrifying. And I know I talk a lot about how I have this like fear of food, right? Basically, they told me that they would eat, vomit, go back and eat some more, vomit, go back and eat some more, vomit, and go back and eat some more, because even though they'd had the surgery and could only eat a few bites, they wanted to eat everything that was on their plate because it was like they had to eat it. And that just scares me so much. It scares me so much. But yeah, one of the things, and in this video, I guess she's not going to show like a vlog style of anything. It's just the update. But one of the things is there's a lot of foods, and she kind of touched on it, like these slider foods, she called them, that you have to be careful of because they're really high calorie but they're easy to take in with our stomachs being the way they are. So you can easily take in too many calories and too many carbs or too many sugars without really realizing it as well, you know? And you still feel like you're not eating that much. So then you eat more, and it's a whole negative cycle. Okay. Not to say that's what she's doing, but just with my minimal experience with her other video that I reacted to, she's definitely doing too much with that coffee.
If I get full or if something doesn't make me feel good, I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't crave it. Still find things that are a healthy way to cope with emotions. You know, is it difficult? Does it take a little while to figure out? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. And be honest with your therapist. Be honest with the food nutritional counselor during your program. Don't be ashamed. Like, you're not
Amber
alone.
didn't
Like,
get that memo.
I'm right there with you. Everyone has different food issues, most likely if you're going through this procedure. So I just want you to know that, like, there's no shame in it. We all have things. If you're watching this and you're judging me because of my food issues, whatever, I know you have issues of your own. And we all have our things. And I think it's just so much better if we're just honest so people don't feel so alone. And we're just not judgmental to everyone. Let's just be loving and understanding of each other. That was another.
I think your message is good, but I feel like it's very
surgery as
don't
bad
judge
as they
me.
say. Will I ever eat normal again? I don't feel like life after surgery is bad at all. I feel like it's the happiest I've been in a while.
The obsession with eating normal is weird. Like, that shouldn't be what you want, because your normal was bad. And that's why you're
life
fat.
after surgery is not bad at all. It's
I don't know why these people keep asking
balanced,
for that, because it's such
happy,
a weird question.
Peaceful. Healing my relationship with food. Again, not saying I'm perfect. Healing my relationship with food.
Y'all, I gotta pause that. And that's a load of shit. I don't know what kind of surgery she had. Life after surgery, uncomfortable, painful, filled with gas that you can't get rid of. Your abdomen is so incredibly bloated. You can't turn this way. You can't turn that way. You can't really sit up that well on your own. Y'all, you can't walk your dog. And I'm not just talking about the few weeks after surgery, they're like, don't pick this up and don't bend over. I'm talking about like weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, you still get a little twinge over here. You can still have the gas in your abdomen, the CO2 in your abdomen for like 6 weeks post-surgery. So I haven't even made it to 6 weeks post-surgery yet. So who knows what's still in there? You know what I mean? There's so many things. If there's a seasoning on something that shouldn't be on it and you take it in, you're going to throw up. If your pouch just decides it doesn't like things, you're going to throw up. There's so many things. You could get dumping syndrome. So if you take in something that's got some sugar in it, yeah, and it's just going to go right out the other end. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you can't keep anything in. So I'm definitely not feeling balanced, and maybe that'll change. Maybe she's forgotten all of the trauma she experienced post-surgery initially, but I have not. I have not forgotten. Okay.
Food has been an extremely huge stress relief for me. And in a way, like I said, it is kind of forced. Because not only are you restricted and you might feel sick and things like that, but
I
also,
never will.
You know, the emotional work went into it as well. So it's a physical restriction, but the emotional work is really important to go hand in hand with it. Do you eat different foods 6 months post-op versus a year post-op? I'd say with the 6 month mark, it's about the same. I did recently introduce carbonation back into my life. I am not downing Diet Coke every day like I used to. I actually don't love the taste of Diet Coke anymore, which is really weird, really weird. I used to be a Diet Coke fiend, and respect to all my Diet Coke girlies out there. I almost wish I still loved it.
Is totally
but like the
different.
taste just, it like doesn't do anything for me anymore. It just doesn't taste the same. But I do drink these things called Poppy, either like a prebiotic soda. The cherry limeade and the raspberry rose are my favorites. They're so yummy. And they're like gut health sodas, but they're really, really good. So I drink maybe one of those every other day. I just sip it slowly, but it was approved by my doctor. They did say you can see how it feels. I know some doctors are like, no
I guess that
carbonation.
answers
Some
the
doctors are no
carbonation
straws.
question, but
I didn't have
honestly,
that in my personal
carbonation could be a
experience.
trigger
So
for a lot of people to
listen to your
overeat.
doctor. Do what you feel is best for you. That's my experience. I don't have any discomfort. I don't feel like it stretched my pouch. I don't feel like sick. Like, everyone is different. I have a friend who had gastric bypass. She had no issues with carbonation. I know people online who have said it makes them feel like bloated and just uncomfortable. So to each their own. I do feel like something I've really learned with this surgery is it's so different for everyone. Like, I've heard so many different things from everyone about things their doctor
but it can
had said,
also
or
like
different experiences with different people.
Then you eat too much food.
I know, and then you have to really be introspective and just work. There's a lot to work through emotionally. It's definitely a lot of emotional work and physical as well. So
I just don't think in a year you can work through all your issues
in
with
terms
food.
of like recovery.
There's no way. There's not enough time in my life
like
to work
an
through it
allergic
all.
reaction kind of to like where they inserted the numbing stuff. So I was very itchy for a while. I expected more pain actually internally, but it is very minimally invasive, which is great. So overall, like, it was a pretty like seamless recovery in my personal opinion. Again, everyone's is different. My 6-month anniversary just passed. Please tell me the hair loss and growing in gets better.
Straightforward experience.
Absolutely. I was just talking about this with someone the other day. The hair loss was wild. It's kind of a blur. I think it started for me around 3-4 months. But yeah, I would just run my hands through my hair.
I haven't had any hair loss yet.
Clumps of it. I was like, yo, what is going on? Because like, I thought I'd kind of skipped on past it. I might be getting the months wrong. My memory sucks. But like, it started around
God, I'm scared, y'all.
It's recently stopped. I'd say it stopped around 9-10 months after surgery.
I'm scared now.
I still have a little bit of shedding, but not nearly as bad as it used to be. The best thing I can say is just make sure you're taking your bariatric vitamins, getting enough protein, drinking enough water, and that's all you can control. It might just happen. If you want to confirm that with your doctor, you can, but that was my experience.
Yeah,
it definitely gets better. What was the process like to get approved for it? I've touched on this in like previous videos, but it was
they were just like
vitamin. In terms of getting approved for it, the approval process wasn't that long. The whole process, once it started, was a few months. I got approved for it. Once I had my initial consultation, I want to say like it was pretty immediate. Like within a few days, I was able to set up the rest of my appointments. But what have you learned about yourself from this journey? I have learned, I think a big thing is that like I did use food to cope with negativity a lot. And I started that from when I was a child. And I had to really look inward about it.
This just doesn't seem like she's over it, but that's just my perspective, you know?
I also learned that I'm stronger than I realized. Like, I look back at things I've gone through and I'm like, girl, like, you're pretty tough. Because this process is intense. Like, it's a beautiful process. It's one of those things that's like hard but really beautiful.
It's ugly.
Because you do learn so much about yourself.
And all my scars, like half of them are so bad looking.
Like mentally, emotionally, physically, it's so much change, but like truly for the better. Like looking back from the year, I'm like, whoa, like so much has changed internally as well as physically, and it's a journey. But like I know it's so corny. It's a journey, but like in the most beautiful way, truly. You do learn so much about yourself along the way and how resilient you are. How did this affect your personal relationship, going out to eat with your partner, etc.? My husband was so supportive throughout the whole thing.
I've still gone out to eat with my husband and stuff.
So supportive.
Gone out to eat with my family.
Just
gone
wants
to
me to be happy.
Gatherings.
The biggest thing was in social gatherings altogether. It's different with food. Like going out to eat, it's just not as fun for a while. You kind of adapt, and like you can't drink alcohol
I took
for
my
a
fucking
while.
Fairlife out to eat.
Is a doozy now. I have finally discovered I can only drink like watered down drinks, especially if they have like a lot of sugar. I'm like,
yeah, why would you even want to drink it?
So dizzy. I can drink like a watered down margarita or like a seltzer, like a low sugar seltzer. Like otherwise, drinks just make me not feel good. Like literally, I'll be ordering a drink and I like dump half out and pour in water. It is just is a sight to see. But yeah, it's different. Like going out to eat with people, a lot changes. I will say over time it gets a little bit easier because you can just like eat a little bit more or drink or whatever, and that's very social. And
You
yeah,
can be
with
social
my husband,
without eating.
he was
I
there for
think
me throughout the
nobody was
emotional
mad at me
parts
for
of it,
taking
the
my
physical
fair
parts of
life
it,
to the
all of
restaurant
it.
the other day.
I think the biggest
They
thing I
just
can
wanted me
recommend
there.
to you is if you're gonna do this, you have to have a good support system. That is the biggest thing. Whether it's family, a friend, an online community, have people you can talk to throughout this who are going to encourage you. If you have people in your life who don't want you to get the surgery, keep them at a distance for a bit because you
really
need
do.
support during this time. Do you eat spicy stuff and does it burn your stomach? I do. I love
I
spicy
haven't
food.
even
It
had
does not hurt my
spicy
stomach.
yet.
With all the changes it's made in your daily life, is it still worth it? You look happy. I am very happy. Thank you. It's 100%
She looks better
worth
than
it.
that
I can
photo
honestly
she
say it's
showed
one
a
of the
second
best
ago.
things I have ever done. The only thing I miss is being able to take Aleve or naproxen for period cramps. That's like my favorite period medication. With gastric bypass now, I can only take Tylenol.
I take the
like,
powdered
it really doesn't
Tylenol.
do anything
That
for
is the
me.
move.
Like my back pain's gone, my knee pain is gone. Like physically, I feel just
well,
like
110
reborn,
pounds,
which is nice. All right, guys, my camera battery died. I think I've been rambling for kind of a while. Those were the majority of the questions, but if you guys have any more, feel free to leave them down in the comments.
Nothing too bad in there, and I don't know enough about her journey still to be able to say one way or the other, like if she's doing well or not. But 110 pounds in a year is really, really good. Like, that's great. If she can keep that up, that would be awesome. But from the look of the video I just watched, which is like, we're 5 months out from this video, maybe 4 or 5 months out from this video, she looks like she's gained weight. Now, I can't say for sure. That's from my perspective, it doesn't look like she's lost any more weight. Which that's not what it's all about, but if you just continually focus on food and what you're going to eat and what you're going to do and how things are going to taste and things like that, and are constantly searching out new ways to take in calories, then things aren't going to go well, would be my opinion. And honestly, from that most recent video, she wasn't talking any about her like emotional state. She was just trying to convince us that we were all bad for what we were saying about her. So yeah, don't think she's worked through those issues. And that's definitely not something you can work through in a year. I'm not saying she has any compulsive behaviors because I'm not a doctor, not a psychologist, nothing like that. I'm just saying if she did have some sort of compulsive food behaviors, especially if it's especially if it's revolving around emotional like coping mechanisms, that's not something you're going to work out that quickly. I know for me, and I know the people I talk to, the struggles that we are going through with compulsive food behaviors are a lifelong thing, and every day can be a turning point. So you're never safe. All right. I hope you guys like this. If you have any questions for me, if you have any questions about gastric bypass surgery, feel free to drop them down in the comment section or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I will be sure to answer it. And yeah, thank you for watching my videos. I know I say this all the time, but honestly, when I started this channel back in January, I never thought that people were going to be watching my videos, especially not as many people as have been watching my videos. So thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.